What's going on, drinking buddies? You know what time it is. Time for a brand new podcast. Hope everyone's quarantine or relaxing of social distancing is going as well as humanly possible. Hope everyone's fucking staying safe, doing their best not to get sick. Us here in LA, we're looking at another 3 months probably. So it's kind of crazy. A lot more remote shows for me. Hope everyone's been enjoying the remote shows. You know, I've been getting some guests that I wouldn't normally have on. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me with a little bit of the change to the format. Anywho, on with the ads. Everyone's favorite part. This week is brought to you by the video versions of A Now We Drink. The video versions are available on Vimeo, on demand, for 99 cents an episode or $6.99 a month. Will get you all 53 video episodes streaming. Unlimited. It supports me directly, and I need the fucking money. So hook a brother up. Go to www.anwd.net/videos. Once again, that is www.anwd.net/videos to support the channel, check out the video versions, see all the fucking funny facial expressions and other silliness that happens. It's a lot of fucking fun. Check it out today. We are also brought to you by me playing video games on Twitch. That's right, I'm a Twitch streamer now. So if you want to watch one of my various streams throughout the week, go to www.twitch.tv/MattFNSlayer. I'm streaming stuff all week. And if you have Amazon Prime, do me a huge solid. Spend the 5 minutes to sign up for your free Twitch Prime account and throw me your free subscription. It costs you nothing but a few minutes a month. And once again, puts money in my pocket. God, I hate it. Like I sound like I'm begging for money, but I kind of am. So let's just face the facts. Production's down. Work's a little slow. Anything you can do to help, we fucking appreciate it. Much love, drinking buddies. We are also brought to you this week by our friends at Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is the Record of the Month Club. The best damn Record of the Month Club. In fact, every month, Vinyl Me Please features one album that's essential to the modern vinyl collection. Each record is pressed exclusively for Vinyl Me Please and has features you can't get anywhere else. Things like bonus tracks, inserts, color variants, and comes packaged with a 12x12 album-inspired art print and custom cocktail pairing recipe. You can't beat it. Art, vinyl, cocktail recipe, and Vinyl Me Please isn't like Record of the Month clubs of old. It's month to month, no strings attached. Don't like your vinyl? They'll get you something else. It's fucking awesome. So go to www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. Once again, that is www.joinvmp.com/ANWD to sign up for your fucking awesome vinyl collection. My guest this week is my dear friend, Goth Charlotte Sartre. We talk about all sorts of shit. We talk about missing travel, Rick and Morty, her love of animals, whole thing about leeches. Charlotte wanted to meet O.J. Simpson. It was a lot of fun. I know there's another short one. Charlotte had a heart out. We'll have her on again soon. So in the meantime, sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy drinking, buddies. Yay, recording.
Yay, Brian.
Yay, we're on the internet. Charlotte, what the fuck's going on? How you been, homie?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I've been good. Just isolating, social distancing, and working from home, petting a lot of cats, playing video games. Same old, same old.
Nice. How are you and Lance doing? Yeah, I know quarantine can be a little rough on couples, potentially.
Yeah, that's right. We're pretty good. Like, I'm kind of like a cunt. Like when we're working together, if I'm like, oh, this like camera angle is wrong, I turn into like instantly a bitch, but he's like very patient with me and very sweet. And then when we finish whatever we have to do, we're like, yay, we did it. It's good.
You're just demanding about your art. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm like too much of a, for somebody who's like not that great at like filming, and like I just bought a camera last year and I'm still like every day I'm like learning new settings on it. So like I don't really know what I'm doing. And for somebody who like doesn't know what they're doing, I'm like pretty like demanding and specific about how I want things to look, even though I can't control it.
Well, you're like, it doesn't line up to what I see in my head. I get it.
Yeah, it's like when you're trying to draw a picture and you're like, why is this not like I'm like imagining like a circle in my head and it's coming out like a triangle.
God damn it, Lance. Move your hips.
Exactly. I can't see the penetration.
Right?
I can't see the penetration anyway because like I can't see the monitor. I don't see things too good far away, so I'm
like I think that's good. It's like kind of blurry.
Yeah, he's like, babe, how does that look? I'm like, oh, it's really blurry. And he's like, no, it's in focus. I'm like, yeah, but I can't see anything.
As a fellow blind person, I totally get that.
Right, and contacts just don't cut it. Like half the time I don't even wear them when I shoot because like I can't see that much better.
See, I can't even get them in my fucking eyes, so.
Yeah, it's too much. And then if you're getting like cum in your eyes and stuff, it makes the contact stick and it's like uncomfortable. It's just not a good time.
I can imagine like the fear of getting like cum in between the contact in your eye and oh
my god, it's horrible. It's horrible. Cum, pee, spit, anything. It's like, and then it burns and then it acts as like some adhesive. Sometimes I don't know how to explain it, but it makes like your eye not moist, so the contact sticks to it. It's gross.
Well, I mean, with semen, I know why it makes your eyes red is because swimmers don't differentiate between mucous membranes. They're like, that's the mucous membrane that I'm supposed to go in and swim into your eyes, and that's why they all get irritated.
Oh my god, that's horrible. No wonder it burns so bad.
Right? So it probably swells your eyes a little bit.
Mm-hmm, and
the contacts don't fit right. That's probably
makes sense.
We're breaking down the science of cum in the eye with contacts. Look at that. We're an educational show.
I'm learning so much already. This has been like an educational quarantine filled with like knowledge and learning new skills, learning new things.
What else have you been learning?
I'm trying to learn how to make music. And I'll show you stuff like when I have it finished. But I downloaded like Ableton and Logic and stuff, and I'm doing things.
Are you going to be the next EDM DJ?
No, I want to make like the next like Plantasia, but for spiders and other arthropods.
Really?
That way, if like people criticize it, it's like, well, it's like it's not intended for human ears. It's intended for creatures that don't have ears and can only feel vibrations. So the criticism is invalid.
So it's really bassy.
I get it's like bassy and synthy. I don't know.
It's there to vibrate webs and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be weird if you developed a tone that like convinced the spider that like something was in its web, but it wasn't. It's like, where's my food?
That would be so diabolical.
No,
well, it's really fucked up because like there's so many cool animals that don't have ears. Like spiders don't have ears in the sense they hear things. Snakes don't. Like they can sense stuff and feel vibrations, but
with their tongue, right? They're like,
yeah, and they have like little pits in the side of their head, I think, or maybe that's lizards. I don't know. But anyway, when I was like, I got a snake like a few months ago, and I've got him in the passenger seat, and like I'm driving. It was like a 30-minute drive, so I'm like trying to figure out what music he wants to listen to. I'm like, oh, I hope he likes Luther Vandross. I don't know, because that's what we're listening to, buddy. But he can't hear anything. I think that's fucked up because like, I like Luther Vandross. Like my snake should be able to also vibe to Luther with me.
Maybe you can invent because they have those implants for deaf humans where they like plug it into their head and they translate the vibration like the ears do. Maybe you can make an artificial one for snakes.
That would be really nice.
It'd be really nice, but it might freak the fuck out of a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is my brain translating sound? And who knows if their brain can actually, because if it's a physical malfunction in the ear, the brain is still set up to translate sound and signals from sound into what we perceive as sound. Who knows if snakes' brains are actually set up like that?
Yeah, I might not be able to perceive it, or it at least would like bother the heck out of it. Like, those videos where like people get like hearing aids for the first time and then they hear stuff and they start crying. Like, how can a snake cry?
Yeah. I don't know.
These are life's big questions.
They are life's big questions. It's like, what would a snake do with sound? Like, would it be freaked out? Like, would a snake start running away from a mouse because it hears the mouse like scurrying around?
Maybe there's a good reason they can't process sound. Like, maybe they'd be too smart and they would just make like really sick like albums. Like, they would top like all the charts. Like, humans like wouldn't make any money in music. Would all be snakes.
Snake jazz.
Yeah, they would take over the economy.
Have you watched Rick and Morty recently?
Yeah, of course.
Snake jazz.
I started the whole episode of the Snake Planet. It's like hard to get me to laugh from TV. Like, I started crying over the dumbest shit. Like the part where the snakes are like drawing on the blackboard and it's just S's. It was with my husband and I was like crying, laughing. Why is it so funny? He's drawing S. Like, it appealed to like my primal lizard brain, like somewhere deep back here.
They do that show so fucking well. Like, just
it's really funny. I like it. I don't care how much like people make fun of it. I love it.
Wait a minute, who the fuck makes fun of Rick and Morty? Who makes
I don't know, people who are rude and suck.
Like, does the jokes just go over their head? Like, what the fuck?
I guess like turning yourself into a pickle is not funny. I think it's pretty funny.
Okay, and the symbolism in Pickle Rick is I feel like that episode was a little overhyped. I enjoyed it, but it's not like my favorite season 3 episode.
Right. It's just like it's an easy thing to pick apart.
Yeah. I mean, but it's the whole point of it is he does something so absolutely ridiculous just to avoid to go to therapy.
Yeah, I've done ridiculous things too.
Right. That's the symbolism of it, not the literal he turned himself into a pickle. That's not the... Why, people? Why?
One time I was going into therapy and I found this dead bird outside of the therapist's office. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be late for my appointment. I should rush in. But I wanted the bird to like do stuff with. So I picked it up and put it in my pocket. And then the therapist is like, oh, hey, are you lost? My door's here. So I'm pretty sure she saw me like picking the dead bird up and putting it in my pocket and like keeping it in my pocket for like the duration of the session. And neither of us brought it up or said anything about it.
Hey, at least you didn't present it to her like you're a cat.
Right. It's like
I brought this for you.
Yeah, like what happens outside of therapy we don't talk about. Just pretend you didn't see that.
Yeah, like you're a person, I'm a person, I'm not your patient at the moment. We don't need to address.
If I saw you at the grocery store and you were my therapist, I wouldn't be like, hey, like I really feel some type of way about this broccoli. Can you psychoanalyze me or whatever? And like, here's a check. And if you see me like picking up a dead bird outside of your office and putting it in my pocket, like don't say anything about it. Don't charge me for it.
Definitely. And note to Charlotte's fans, if you see Charlotte in public, don't just start masturbating. Don't do it.
No, don't yell at me. Don't ask me what's in my pockets. It's probably like a dead bird or a lizard or something.
So you should have an attacked lizard in your pocket. So if they do ask, just get them, lizard.
I wish. I miss having lizards so much.
What is in your menagerie these days?
What isn't? Well, right now...
Obviously lizards.
Yeah, I have 4 cats. I have 6 tarantulas, 1 scorpion, 1 ball python, and I have a leech on the way. And I'm thinking of acquiring some tailless whip scorpions.
Just one leech?
Just one for now, just to start, and then I'll see how I do. I don't want to get like overwhelmed with like leech keeping, but
Do you have to feed leeches your own blood?
you don't have to, but I will.
Well, I didn't think you were going to sacrifice someone else's blood to the leech.
No, and it's like I don't want to go to the grocery store and like try to find like a butcher that like sells blood in like tubs, or like buy like beef liver or whatever, because like I don't really like liver. Like why would I mean, like the exception to that is like I have to buy like mealworms for like my spiders and stuff, and like rats and mice for the snake. Like I don't eat those, but it's like why feeding like a leech from yourself is like the cheapest and most efficient way to like take care of your pet. So like why not do that?
Well, and I feel like the leech would appreciate fresh blood much more than like, dead cow's blood.
Yeah, of course. And like it's warm, like they can attach to stuff. It's a lot more hygienic because like if you put a piece of beef liver like in the enclosure with the leech, like whatever tank or jar of water you have it in, it makes the water really messy. Then you got to clean the water, and it's like a whole thing. I'd rather just take the leech out, like put it on me, and then when it's done, it like unlatches, and then I put it back.
Does it eventually unlatch, or?
Yeah, when they're done, like, is if you try to pull it off, the jaws can get like stuck in your skin because they have 3 jaws. It's like Predator, but like one more. And then so it like they have like razor sharp teeth on like each jaw, and then they make like a really cool looking like Y-shaped incision, and then they have like an anesthetic or analgesic. I don't know, some numbing agent, and then they like suck the blood, and then when they're done they let go. The one I'm getting, it only needs to eat like every 3 to 6 months.
Nice. Only 3 to 6 months, really?
Yeah, I guess maybe their metabolism is super slow. I don't think they're super active. They don't really do much, so it's not like they're burning that many calories like leeching around.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I just always think of leeches like from movies where it's just like, oh, if you go through the swamp, you're just covered in leeches.
Yeah, but think about like how often do people like walk through that section of the swamp? Probably like every few months or something.
Yeah, but don't they feed on other animals too?
Yeah, but maybe there's not enough for them to like get their fill.
Do leeches like latch onto like reptile shit like that?
I think they latch onto just about anything. Anything they can. There's like certain like leeches in the sea, I think they latch onto like mucus membranes, like eyeballs, like gills, and that kind of thing. And then leeches that live in like swamps and shit, I think they latch onto like the skin and that kind of thing.
That's crazy.
It's pretty cool. I'm still learning a lot about them. Like, I don't know if any of the information I've talked about is like false or if I'm misinformed. So if anyone listening thinks I'm being like a disinformation agent about leeches, I apologize. I'm just
wait a minute, you're not the mainstream media of leeches? Charlotte, I'm shocked.
Like to be.
Post porn, Charlotte's just like, leeches, that's what I do.
That would be really nice.
So is it illegal to involve your leeches in a scene?
I'm sure it would be because
even if there's no blood shown.
Well, I think they fall under the realm of animals. Like same reason you can't use like bugs and stuff. It's like technically an animal. Plus, I wouldn't want to like exploit like a leech for like that. Like I put weird shit on my OnlyFans. I have like a hook suspension video on there, and that's not like really porn. And like
I'm sure someone's jerking off to it though.
Yeah, I put like non-porn things on there sometimes just to like show aspects of like my personal life. So maybe I'll also as like a way to like not gross people out. Like, hey, if you do want to see this leech drinking my blood, like come to my OnlyFans. I'm
sure you will get a ton of new subscribers doing that shit because Pretty sure you're the only person making that content.
Maybe. I mean, you never know how many like freaks are out there. I'm in like a lot of weird entomology groups on Facebook, and like the past like week or 2 weeks or so, like every time I go on there, like I see like another person who's like, "Here are my leeches. Here's my leech eating me." Maybe I'm just on the weird part of Facebook all the time.
Well, I'm sure it's on
But
Facebook, but I think you'll be the only person doing OnlyFans content with it.
oh, true, maybe.
You shouldn't tell people it's on Facebook because otherwise they're going to go get the free source on Facebook
Yeah.
instead of coming to your OnlyFans. What the fuck?
Well, they're
man?
private groups. You have to be like a super nerd to get into these.
Now you just send people down a quest to find it.
Hmm.
They're like, I'll find that hidden group. I'll find that shit. Where can I watch women getting sucked on by leeches? Because that's got to be someone's fetish. Someone's got to be into it.
Well, you know, now, come to think of it, I haven't really seen many, or if any, I can think of videos of like women doing leech feeding. It's a lot of dudes, and then women, like I see pictures of them like with their leeches and stuff. Like, oh, here's me holding my leech, but I haven't seen like the bloody stuff. Maybe the women are smart and put it behind a paywall.
One would hope. One would hope.
The men are just being exhibitionists.
As we do. As we're just like, and Jesus Christ, scrolling through my Twitter right now, I've seen so many more penises from friends on my timeline than any other. Like, it's just like dick. It's just male talent.
Oh my gosh, it's so many.
Come on, man. I'm literally seeing your penis more than my own. I'm not
trying
down
to
with
be better
it.
about that stuff because I have a lot of friends who aren't in porn and like who follow my Twitter, and so I try not to post like too much. Like if it's like a cool scene, I'll retweet it, but like if I'm posting my butthole, I try to have something in it so you're just not seeing like big open keep.
You're just like, there's a nice little heart there.
Yeah, there's a hand in there. So I try to, block what I can to not offend.
Man, you should just go for the safe for work, like friends route, and the not safe for work, porn fan route.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Every time a friend of mine, like in another business, is like, "Oh yeah, I have you on Twitter." I'm like, I am so sorry for whatever you may have seen. Like, it's a business. It's my job.
Exactly. That's always like kind of weirds me out when like professional contacts find my Twitter. It's like, shit. I mean, and like mine's not pornographic except for when I retweet friends and shit like that. But it's like, I do say some wild shit sometimes.
Yeah, but you can't take stuff like people say on Twitter seriously. Like everyone's just like joking around and being like the most horrible version of themselves because it's like funny.
I agree. Unfortunately, the rest of the world does not. Seeing as people like James Gunn were fucking canceled, 10 years after he tweeted some horrible shit?
Ah, that's terrible.
And the fucked up part about it is like, for fuck's sake, the guy wrote Romeo and Juliet. You know what kind of sense of humor the guy has. Like, there have never been any pedophilia accusations, anything of any wrongdoing from him whatsoever. They were just tasteless fucking jokes.
Right, I had somebody get mad at me because I was following O.J. Simpson on Twitter, and it's like, it doesn't mean like I agree with like what he may or may not have done. I just think his tweets are like funny.
Yeah, he says some wild shit.
Yeah, he says some funny shit, and then he always like makes videos like, "Hey, Twitter world, here's what's going on in fantasy football today. Also, I'm gonna go get my haircut at Sport Clips." Like, I think that's cool. I want to know like where he's getting his haircut. It's like relevant to my interests.
Especially because he's in Vegas, and you probably don't want to be there being a white woman.
Right. Well, I'm not blonde, but
you also didn't cheat on him, so
I'm trying to figure out what golf course he golfs at. I kind of want to meet him because he seems like a chill person. But yeah, like OJ with like sharp instruments, like I think it's just wise to like stay away from that part of town.
Yeah, probably fairly smart. I mean, at the end of the day, that also shows something that's fucked up about the American idea of criminal justice on a serious note. It's like, technically the dude paid his debt to society. He did his time. He got out.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, like, he did his time for like a completely unrelated thing. It was like he stole his own merchandise.
At
But
gunpoint.
the criminal justice system found him innocent of murder, and it's like, okay,
I mean,
like if
he
nobody
lost
believes in like a fair like trial.
No, and he lost the fuck out of the civil case.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, he probably did it. But
yeah, I give him a break. But it's so funny because people are so angry at OJ for like allegedly murdering somebody, and then and he wasn't convicted of that. And then you have like the dude from Burzum, Vard Vikernes, who legitimately stabbed Euronymous to death, went to jail for that, was convicted, and then he gets out, does his time. People don't care about the murder at all. They're just mad that he's like a Nazi racist on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm kind of not thrilled about both.
Yeah, like both are terrible, but it's like if you're gonna like condemn one person for like a murder, like condemn everybody for murder. Like treat everybody, at an equal level.
Well, and it's all circumstantial too. Like some murders are justified. Some murders are a little more justified. Not saying either murder is justified in this situation, but you got to look at the surroundings. You can't just be like, "Oh, that dude's a murderer." Well, was that person convicted of murder, like, and they were actually defending themselves, and the law just didn't go their way? Like,
yeah, was it self-defense? Are you like protecting like a loved one? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, did you just do something fucking stupid? Like, that's
there's
all
levels to it,
right? There's levels to almost everything, and that's, I think, all in all, the problem with society in general is there's just no fucking nuance. They just hear the big words, they see the bold print, and that's what they go off of.
Everything is black and white, but then like you can pick and choose who you apply those parameters to.
100%. 100%. It's, and also just in like, for I'm sure most people, it has no impact unless it's like, oh, I can relate to this somehow. A black metal singer stabbing another black metal, musician to death. It's like, man, I can't really relate to that. Oh, they're both bad people because they're into black metal. So they probably don't care. It's like, oh, rich black man stabs his ex-wife to death, allegedly stabs his ex-wife to death. Like, outrage.
Yeah, and then like the media sensationalized it for sure.
Yeah.
So everyone felt like intimately connected to it, even though like it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. And there's a hilarious Chris Rock bit. It was either Rock or Chappelle from back in the day where they're like, I don't think he should have, you shouldn't do it, but I understand why. I mean, this is becoming like a regular segment on the show where I just butcher old comics bits that are relevant to what we're talking about. I really got to remember this shit like accurately before I spout it off.
But how can you, like, I have no idea what we're going to talk about before we get into it. So it's like, how do I research what points we're going to make,
True. I'm just saying
that's the fun of it.
Oh, 100%. I'm just saying I need to go back and actually watch old Chris Rock and Chappelle bits and remember them and accurately.
You've got all the time in the world now.
I do. I'm still being a lazy piece of shit. What else have you
been doing?
Well, I've been wearing this bathrobe quite a bit.
I love bathrobes. I saw this tweet the other day that's like, oh, I don't trust people who wear bathrobes. And it's like, I am the person who like, I walk like down the street to get the mail, like in my like cheetah print bathrobe and like fuzzy slippers. And like, it's 3 p.m. Yes. I'm still wearing a bathrobe. Yes. Do I give a fuck? No.
What kind of motherfucker doesn't trust someone in a bathrobe?
Somebody who's not comfortable.
Like, I hope you unfriended that person.
Oh yeah. In my heart, I did.
You don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
No, I don't. I don't need people judging like me wanting to be comfortable in my own home or on my own street getting the mail. And yeah, this is a life choice I've made that I'm happy with, and I don't need judgment passed upon me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've put on a shirt maybe 4 times in the last month.
Oh, that's awesome. You're so lucky you don't have to like put on makeup for stuff. Because I see all these tweets, the girls are like, oh, I haven't worn makeup in weeks. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. I still have to make porn.
Right? Like, are you not? Well, like other people, I'm assuming those are other people that are not in porn, because everyone in porn's like, I'm still making content here.
Yeah, like, and thank God for OnlyFans.
I mean, I honestly feel like 2020 is going to be the COVID virus is probably going to be the last nail for major productions. Like,
yeah, well, that's how it's been going for a while, I believe. People, there's something really intimate about like amateur homemade productions, and I think people um, are more aware of, oh, when so and so shoots a scene for this big company, they get paid one time, whereas if I subscribe to their page, like I'm supporting them directly, and like they have complete control over like the content they produce, and they're getting like recurring payments from it. I think people like to individually support like performers now more than ever. And also the performers are like, well, fuck, like, why would I go work on set? Like, other than like marketing purposes, putting my name out there. But like, if you can make just as much, if not more money, like on the couch at home, like, why wouldn't you?
one, the thing about it is, as more and more big productions shut down, don't have budgets to do major productions, I have a feeling you're going to see higher quality OnlyFans content. You're going to have people,
totally.
People dragging those shooters and like the crew that would normally be on a set with you, like over to your house to fucking do OnlyFans content.
Oh, totally.
Like, I'm making enough for my OnlyFans. Yeah, I can pay your day rate. Fucking actually shoot this shit.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've really learned with this quarantine, and I've been doing some shoots, like basically like I'll shoot like a scene or something, and then a company will essentially like buy the rights to it from me. So I'm like solos, and then like stuff with my husband, like we're like producing, directing, performing, like PA, like all this shit. And it takes like so much longer. It really is like no wonder like you be sitting around on set sometimes and it takes like 7 hours before like the cameras start rolling, because people it takes a long time to set up stuff, and also like everybody there is so essential. Like it just, once you're going, it just saves so much time, like to be able to have somebody to like move a light or like a camera like instantly, and um like get those close-up shots that like you can't really get to by yourself. It was so frustrating yesterday because I'm like, I need to see butthole penetration, and then it's like I can't move the camera like into my butthole like as much as I would like. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, you would have to like angle it and like mount the camera somewhere above you, and
yeah, but like hiring a crew to come to my house and like help me film like my butthole film, that would be really helpful.
one day, when we're allowed to have human contact again.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This lockdown stuff is crazy. I heard like from one person that there's some companies that like aren't going to resume shooting until like July.
I would, at this point, I think July would be hopeful. Like, I don't think we're getting out by July.
Yeah, and then I heard, I think FSC, they're not lifting the production hold until every state in America lifts their stay-at-home orders as well.
Well, that's going to be interesting because like places like Florida are reducing them already, but they saw a fucking spike.
I guess everyone. Yeah, I guess everyone just waits until like the last state like lifts the hold. But I feel like there's going to be some holds that are lifted, and then there's a spike in cases, so like they get placed under hold again.
Florida already fucking proved that shit this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, we're going to reopen the beaches. Oh man, we spiked over the weekend. You fucking dummies.
Floridians.
Why? Like, Or I just saw an article this morning that like LAPD, I guess over the weekend, busted a 100-person rooftop party in LA.
Oh my gosh, that's so irresponsible. I don't know. I at first when this isolation stuff started, I was like kind of panicking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't like run these errands. Like I can't get my hair done. Like I can't see my friends and stuff. But now I'm kind of like, I've settled into it. I'm like, okay, I can wake up at noon every day and I can play like video games as much as I want and like hang out at home. And like, I'm still like getting work done. It's just like at 3 a.m. But I kind of like it. And then I like that it's like frowned upon to like be in other people's personal space because normally if I'm like running errands by myself, like Walgreens, grocery store, whatever, people will get like really close to me and like try to have conversations with me. And it's like, I don't want that. But now like I got the mask on, like if people have to stay like 6 feet away, like I don't have to talk to anybody. Everyone's like terrified of each other. It's great. It's totally chaotic.
I know.
I just miss my friends.
I miss my friends. I miss sex.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm quarantined with my male roommate. Like, well, coolsies.
Yeah, you guys can't really have sex with each other. You're not on that level.
No.
Not yet.
Nah, I don't think we're getting there.
You've been quarantined long enough.
No.
I miss gangbangs and stuff.
Well,
because I don't have to do any work. I can just kind of like go limp and then people like throw me around.
Like, just use my holes. I don't want to do any work today.
Exactly. It's like I can be super fucking lazy. But yeah, I'm with my husband, so it's like we have to do an equal amount of work.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I actually care if you are enjoying yourself or not. And all
yeah,
that.
Like, I have to get on top. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. At this point, I would trade, me doing all the work, every last bit of it, Like, I've said this on there before. Like, the minute the stay-at-home order and bars reopen, I'm going to fuck the first person who will let me.
That's awesome. I'm terrified for the first person. I do like a scene with, like, what will happen to them.
Well, I think it'll all depend partially on you and partially on what their quarantine situation's been like. Like, has it been some talent that's just been fucking locked up by themselves for this whole time?
Yeah, then they might go harder on me. But yeah, I definitely want to destroy somebody. In all seriousness, it's been like really nice being in the house with my husband because like we get along really well. Like most days, and then he's just like really fucking funny and he's my best friend also. And like last night it's like, okay, we're having frozen pizzas and like watching TV like after we get done working, and we're petting cats like every day. It's really good.
That's awesome. And like, I'm happy that you guys aren't like fucking tearing each other apart and like in a happy, healthy, stable relationship, because it's not happening for, there's a lot of people that's not happening for.
Oh, totally. And like, I think, if you normally like have a pretty, like isolation isn't healthy for anybody, but if you normally have like a healthy relationship, it's not going to suddenly like make you guys hate each other. I think isolation, it exemplifies like existing communication problems people have. And like those day-to-day like grievances and irritations, like roommate shit, like oh, like she didn't do the dishes like again. It's like that stuff is like magnified.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, me and my roommate are keeping it. We're good most days, but there's definitely been in the last month or so a couple times where it's just like, really, dude, and he's been like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, it's good you guys can talk about it.
Sure. Might be passive aggressive notes and ignoring, whatever.
There's some form of communication there.
But I also feel like with actual relationships, it may be very different for people that like have really active lives, really busy lives that they don't spend a ton of time together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys are married, you guys are living together, but there are probably some couples that are definitely like normally have their own places. And
yeah, or like they just happen to be like visiting one another and then they're like suddenly locked down together. That happened to like a few people I know, like one person, he and his girlfriend had like a model staying with them because they do like a production. And so like the model is like quarantined with them, this like model they don't know. And like she's pretty cool, so it's like a harmonious situation. But
it could be
or
really
like
fucking bad.
yeah, like depending on who the model is or how crazy they are. Or like um and then there's some other people I know, they just had like a couple friends passing through town and then all of a sudden like the friends are stuck there.
Yeah, it's absolutely fucking nuts. I mean, none of us could have really planned for this shit.
Oh, totally. But I feel it's interesting. It seemed to happen like when a lot of people I know were like really getting in a good place, like business wise and financially, and getting happy with like whatever moves they were making in life, and everything just kind of um, got shaken up.
Dude, I mean, almost everyone I know like had a fairly shitty 2019 to various
Mhm.
degrees. And everyone's like, fuck yeah, 2020 is my fucking year.
Yeah, nope.
Nope. Nope. Unless you're like enjoying in isolation and like, I'm an introvert and I don't want to deal with people. This is heaven. But that's not
Yeah,
me.
I feel like those people they want to rub it in everyone's face, like, oh, we're under lockdown. I hadn't noticed. Like, come on. Like, I'm pretty like antisocial, but like, I still like crave human interaction, like face to face to some degree, just
Oh,
because I'm human.
oh, I know. Like when you used to live around the corner from me, we used to get food all the time and shit.
Yeah, that was nice. I really miss LA. Um, uh, yeah, like I had like shoots get canceled and like there's an award show I was gonna go to in LA and now it's like I don't get to see my buddies there. I'm sad.
Yeah, yeah. And I haven't been to Vegas in a couple of years. I
You
gotta
should
roll out.
come see the cats.
I'll come see the cats. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people I need to visit there. I mean, I lived there for a couple of years. It's just one of those things where like I haven't had an excuse to get out of LA like all the time. 2019 was like the first year in over a decade I didn't leave the state of California. Like I didn't get on a plane. I didn't leave the state I was based out of.
Really? I can't
Yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah, well, as much as I used to travel, like, yeah, didn't go anywhere.
It's been really weird for me, like not constantly living out of suitcases. Because normally, like every weekend or like every few days, like I have to be like working in LA or I'm like overseas or something. And then I never unpack suitcases. I'm always like taking some stuff out and putting stuff in, but it's always like there. And this is like the longest uh like I've consecutively like been home, like I think like ever.
It's a weird feeling, right?
It's super weird. Like at first I was like uncomfortable because I'm just somebody who never like really feels at home anywhere. But now I think I've settled into it and like I've gotten into a routine and the cats are really happy because I can pet them all day and they get extra cans of food.
Like, who's this strange human that pets us and gives us food? I swear we've seen her before. I guess she's Stan. Because
Yeah,
Lance
my
isn't.
little black cat Ripley, he follows me around everywhere. He's like so codependent, like even more than usual. Um, he's like, Mom's in the kitchen. I have to be in the kitchen. It's so cute.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
you said you're playing a bunch of video games. What are you playing?
Okay. Animal Crossing, of course.
Of
I'm not
course.
like as far along as everybody is. Like, I don't have a whole lot of time to like play. Um, I'm also playing Skyrim on PS4, Oblivion on PC. I have Star Wars: The Old Republic online. It's like an MMORPG. It's like really old. I remember like when it used to cost money to play, and now it's like free to play technically, unless like you're a subscriber, you get extra perks. But um, I have like I've been playing that for years, and like I've done all different like character classes and stuff. But yeah, right now I'm playing like Imperial Agent, which is a really fun storyline. And yeah, what else? Oh, I tried Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch, and the controls are so different from like I'm so used to like Ocarina of Time and what was the one for Wii, Twilight Princess? Or am I thinking of something else? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played.
There's been so many, and I used to play it on like Game Boy when it was like Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Time. But yeah, I'm like, oh, Link has too many pixels now. Like I don't know what to do. And like I just like start up the game, and it's like, oh, take your Sheikah slate and put it on this tablet thing, and all this shit happens, and I'm like, where is the chest with my sword? And my
Right?
shield?
Like, some old man's supposed to give me a sword and say it's
Yeah.
dangerous out there.
Yeah, where is the owl? Like, I don't know what's going on, but I think I need to give it more time and get into it. And then Death Stranding, of course. Like, I only got it because I have like such a boner for Mads Mikkelsen. He's so handsome and so Danish. But the game is really fucking cool.
Nice. Fucking, I've been playing Fortnite like a fucking child.
I never got into that, but I've heard it's really good.
It's not really good. It's just, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. Because I've started streaming recently. Like, I'm a Twitch streamer. Woo!
Well, that's awesome. I'm scared to get into that because, like, it seems like people get mad at like whatever girls do on there. Like, if you have like cleavage, you're like a titty streamer. If like you don't have your boobs out, you're like ugly. And it's like, it seems like people like make a lot of money on there. Like, I know like Sasha Grey is like doing Twitch stuff. I don't know how to use Twitch, so I don't know how to watch her on there.
I can walk you through it when we're not on air. It's pretty easy.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know what she does on there. I don't know if she plays video games. I have a friend who she just like Twitch streams like her life, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I mean, I definitely met a woman in a bar when there were bars. Oh, I miss bars. Who just Twitch streams pretty much just conversations. Like, she basically just chats at her followers.
Yeah, I don't know if like I would be good at Twitch because like I used to webcam and I didn't really like it. Like, I can do it, but the whole like talking to a chat room, like I'd much rather. I can do like one-on-one talking, or like I like porn because it's like I only have to really interact with like the people who are there. It's not like a room full of like 100 people who are like throwing like virtual monies at me that I have to like catch.
True. Because I'm not pretty, don't have that level of interaction yet on stream, so on Twitch. So
are people nice?
I get a handful of people to watch me play video games, and literally like very few people actually chat in the chat room. I think part of it is because I'm playing on my Xbox and I don't have a webcam set up for my Xbox, so they can't see me.
Oh, okay.
They can only hear me, so it's like I don't think is as interactive as people would want.
Oh, I see. So there's a lot more to it than I anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, my plan is I need to build a new PC anyways, mostly for video editing. And at that point, I'm like, well, I'll turn this into my streaming box and like go whole fucking hog with it. As long as I'm going to build a box strong enough to actually do some real video editing on. Because the laptop that we're currently talking on, if I'm running more like 4 cameras on a multicam, start going, what the fuck are you doing to me? Freeze. Like,
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, like sometimes editing the video versions of this podcast on like the traditional 3-camera setup I have in my apartment takes fucking forever because the laptop's just struggling with running the 3 cameras.
Oh yeah, I went through that for a while. It was like maybe last year, 2 years ago, I finally got a new laptop, but I was like using like an early 2014 MacBook Air with like the bare minimum like RAM, like bare minimum like storage. So like to export even like a 10-minute clip, it took like hours and hours. And I'm like, it really fucks with your productivity because I'm like, okay, I can't do anything else on this computer until it's done thinking because if I open Google, like it'll get really angry at me.
Oh, I know it. Like this laptop is probably a little older than that, but I've upgraded the RAM. I put an SSD in it.
Mm-hmm.
But to render a 2.5 hour episode of this still takes 6-7 hours.
Oh yeah. Well, at least like you can upgrade your RAM and SSD. I remember my the MacBook Air, early 2014 was when you could like before they finally stopped like they made it impossible for people to like upgrade the solid state drive because they started like soldering and everything in factory. So like I like put a new solid state drive in there and it was like you just had to like buy like a different screwdriver set, but it was like super fucking easy and like you could change the battery and all that. But now it's like such a scam. Like you have to completely like ball out and buy like the maximum fancy computer like in the store that day when you buy it. There's like no upgrades like along the way.
Yeah, and that's just fucking Apple's business model.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm an iPhone user. I partially hate it, but I also, it's like, I have so much media bought through iTunes at this point, I can't jump ship.
Oh yeah, and then just like compatibility with like other people who have like iPhones and stuff. Like I like to be able to know when people are typing on iMessage. I like being able to shoot content with somebody on our phones and then I just airdrop it to them. Because fuck, if you like leave a content trade shoot and they're like, oh yeah, I'll Dropbox it to you. Like most people forget. You have to like, nobody wants to be that person like hounding down like, hey, can you send me that video of me sucking your dick? Like I never got it. It's just so much less awkward.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, especially when they're like, I haven't edited it yet, or blah, 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 like the normal bullshit excuses. Like, no, just give me the raw fucking files.
Right, yeah, it's so much fucking easier. Like if people just give me the raw, like I've shot with a lot of people who've like insisted on editing things and it just like it takes so much longer and also like people don't edit the way like I want to edit stuff.
Well, and especially if you have the exact same content scene, if they get it to market first, they just devalue your version of it.
Yeah, like I want to put like my own watermark in it, like do different like transitions and stuff, like especially or if it's like a multicam thing, like I want to use like different like close-up shots of like this and that thing,
Right, different angles. I mean, I remember the days of like content trades, like you always rolled in with a hard drive. You're like, this is the hard drive, put this shit on it right here, right now.
Oh my God, I've gotten like fucked so many times because like I've forgotten a hard drive or like I've brought my laptop, but like we don't have a card reader and this and that. And then like one time I was like gonna go back to this girl's house to like get the footage like a couple days like after we shot or something. But then in the meantime, she started being like really fucking like creepy towards me. And it's like, yeah, we just had sex, but it's like borderline like a sexual like harassment, like making me uncomfortable. So I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna go back to this person's house and get my stuff. And then like I see like that shit online and I'm like, like that's my content too, but I don't have it. But now it's like weird.
How is she making you feel uncomfortable? She's like trying to date you afterwards or what?
Yeah, I was like, oh, like I want to like cuddle with you and do this and that. And it's like, we don't have that kind of relationship. We did like a professional thing. And it's like, I love like women, like before porn, like even like to this day, I've dated like more women than men. Like I'm predominantly like attracted to women, but I am like bisexual. But it also like I was in a relationship at the time where I wasn't like romantically open, so I'm like, okay, like it's really weird. You're making me uncomfortable. Like you can keep the porn we made. I don't want to like go back to your house and get like anything happening to me.
Right? Even if it's just an awkward fucking interaction, like, hey, so you want to go out to dinner tonight? Or like,
yeah, but, the point of that story is like it's so much fucking easier and like less awkward in the long run to just like get your shit that day. Yeah, that's one reason I love airdrop so much.
Airdrop the shit to me right now. Right here,
so
right
good.
now. But back to my original point, that's like why I use PCs for all my computing.
Mm-hmm. That's smart. I like having both, like a gaming PC and then like I have to have a laptop just because like I'm traveling so much, and then I do like a lot of editing like in hotel rooms, like in my downtime. So I need like something that's got like Premiere on it and everything.
Hey, I mean, I have a PC laptop, but that's why I avoid Apple products for the laptops, because they're essentially just big fucking iPhones with keyboards these days.
Oh my god, I had the first recently like my MacBook, it like just wouldn't turn on for no reason. Like, and I had to have the motherboard replaced, and like the battery was like completely fried. It was like the weirdest thing. It was like somebody like black magic sabotaged my MacBook. And like I've had weird shit happen to me with like PC laptops before. Like I had a Toshiba where the hinge on the screen like literally broke, and I had to like duct tape my screen like on the laptop, and it fucking worked at least.
You gotta stop being so mean to your laptop, Charlotte.
I wasn't doing anything. It was just the natural motion of like repetitively opening and closing it over time it wore the plastic hinges down. There was actually like
you weren't just
a class action thing
against
Toshiba for it because a lot of people had the same problem. It was fucking funny though. Can you imagine like you're like doing your homework and then like the fucking thing broke? I was shocked and appalled.
I would be so mad. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I was hella pissed.
I would be so
mad. But duct tape fixes everything except MacBooks, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, it's also not a great solution for anal waxing. Just FYI.
Oh, true. I was going to do a scene, and then I couldn't find duct tape, but I want to do one where I just duct tape over my pussy. So my pussy's closed and you can't see it, and then I just use my ass.
Are you going to paint the duct tape a certain color, or is it just going to be the duct tape there?
It's just a silver duct tape. It's less about how it looks and more about the statement it makes.
Nope, just backdoor only.
Yeah, it's art.
Well, for the next one, you should make a little neon sign that mounts like on a waistband.
That'd be a lot of effort for the bit, but I'm the type of person who does that kind of thing.
I know. Could you imagine like an old school like diner sign with like a neon arrow pointing towards your ass on a belt? So like if you're on all fours, it's just beep, beep, flashing neon sign to your butt.
That would be really good. I did one scene once where I had like written in Sharpie like fuck me, and it was like an arrow like pointing down to my ass, and it took so long to get the Sharpie off. But I was very committed to the bit then.
See, that's why I appreciate it. You're always committed to the bit. And honestly, I feel like the Sharpie on your ass pointing to your ass saying "fuck me" probably got some multiple uses. So it wasn't
it's on brand for sure.
It wasn't that big of a deal that it wasn't gone immediately. It's like, well, okay, fine.
the best commitment though, there's this woman I worked with, Christy Black. She's Czech and she's like really awesome. She has "I love anal sex" in cursive, like tattooed above her ass is like a tramp stamp, and it's amazing. It's beautiful.
It's in English?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Well, English is such like a universal language of business and also ass fucking. So
I knew the business
part. It makes
part.
sense to have an English tattoo.
It does. I didn't know the ass fucking part of it. I did know it was like a fairly universal language in business, but makes sense. Ass fucking is kind of like business sometimes.
Well, when I'm fucking somebody who like doesn't English is not their first language and like we're having some communication problems, every time I say put it in my ass, they always understand. So there you go.
But are you giving them visual aids with it?
No, my face is in the pillow.
Okay. I bow to your expertise on these situations. Never been in them. Yeah, no, I've never been in that situation on either side of it.
Yet.
I've definitely had sex with some women that didn't speak English, but no one turned around and said, put it in my ass in English to me when they didn't speak English.
There's a first time for everything. I was just thinking of yesterday, that time I was supposed to go to Cuba with you, and then I couldn't go because I had an anal scene.
You fucked up. You should have gone to Cuba. It was so much fun.
I fucked up, and now I can't go to Cuba or anywhere.
Right.
It haunts me. I got a lot of business opportunities from doing that scene, and it helped my career, but the picture you sent me with the pig.
Yep.
I was like, fuck, I should have gone. I was so upset.
Oh, it was a great trip. Mm-hmm. And I poorly murdered a pig. Well, I mean, I mostly poorly murdered a pig. I'm pretty sure one of my friends actually did the coup de grace, because I've never butchered anything in my fucking life. No one told me I had to twist the knife.
Oh yeah, well now we know.
Well, now I know. And, I'm really bummed that pig did not go quietly into the night.
It's not as easy as they make it look in Apocalypse Now, I guess.
Oh, I mean, it was pretty easy to stab it. But hitting the heart and twisting the knife, not so much. I mean, I hit that pig probably 6-7 times.
Did it taste good, though?
Oh, yeah, it was delicious. Fucking delicious.
Okay. There's something about pig. I was visiting some family over Thanksgiving in Louisiana, and it was in a swamp. It was my husband's cousin, and we're like, oh my god, what smells so delicious? And I'm not going to imitate a Louisiana accent because I would just butcher it. They're like, oh, it's just a pig, shot it this morning. And they just
for the audience at home, that's a very loud Lance Hart in the background.
He talks so loud on the phone. So loud. He wakes me up every morning, but I love him. But yeah, can you just, it was just so fresh and so delicious, and I really like pork, but it was just cool that it was just a local wild pig that lived in the swamp by their house, and they he took it. It's truly living off the land, really cool stuff.
Hell yeah. See,
you don't get too many wild pigs in Vegas.
No, not so much. Though there is a big ass pig farm.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. So there's in Vegas on the up north side of town. There's a huge pig farm up there.
Oh wow.
And the pig farm actually gets all the buffet leftovers every day.
Oh wow, those are well-fed pigs.
Oh yeah, probably carnivores too. Because how much leftover bacon is there?
I'm gonna close the door 1 second.
No problem. Yeah, holy fuck. Lance is probably clear across their house, and I can hear him pretty clearly.
So we have it's a pretty big house. It's 5 bedrooms, but there's no carpet, and it's all hardwood, and then it's kind of an open floor plan. So the downstairs, it's a really tall ceiling and a wide open area, and then the upstairs is kind of half of the house. So there's really nowhere you can be where you don't hear what anybody's, or where you don't hear what anybody's doing.
Surprised you guys don't have a soundproofed room.
Oh my gosh, I know, we were just talking about that. Whatever house we move into after this, we need a room that's just for filming, that's also soundproof, and that would be nice for music production stuff too, if I continue with that, just to have room for recording and everything. You should.
Oh, but back on the pig slaughtering thing. Mm-hmm. I've talked about this on air, but a lot of people are giving me shit. Got it. Beer is making me very burpy. Sorry about that.
That's good.
People are giving me shit how could you stab a pig? I'm how are you going to eat meat and just pretend it comes shrink wrapped or comes on a fucking bun?
Yeah, of course. People forget that there's like a whole like slaughterhouse like situation and all that, and like a human has to like go and like kill the pig and butcher it and all that stuff. So it's just hypocritical. Like I understand if people are vegans and like don't agree with like um animals like being killed for like nourishment at all, like that's like totally like your thing, and like I'm like a person who eats meat, but like I recognize like where it comes from, and like I don't know, like morally like it doesn't bother me, but like I'm like grateful for like the life it gave, and like I am appreciative of that. Like I feed like fucking like mice to like my tarantulas and my snake and stuff. I mean, they're not live when I do it. Um and like I usually try to do frozen, except with the tarantulas, like and like the snake, like you have to thaw it first, but it's like I'm not like there's no way for me to completely live like a vegan lifestyle anyway, because like I'm feeding like insects like animals to like my pets, and also like my cats have to eat meat and all this stuff, so it's I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, life eats life. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
My only regret about that whole situation, as I said earlier, is I'm bummed that the pig didn't go quietly into the night. I am bummed that it had to suffer before it went.
Yeah, but now for like the next time like you like kill a pig to eat, like to make it like die quicker.
Yeah, and it's one of those things of it also would have been dishonorable like to our hosts, because our hosts provided that pig for us.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Well, because the pictures they took of the place we were staying didn't do it justice. So a couple of the
That's so
professional
nice.
photographers with us were like, we're going to retake the pictures of the house for Airbnb, because we were not expecting a place that was as nice as what we got.
The pictures I saw were beautiful.
Yeah, it looked nice on Airbnb, but it was a lot nicer in person. And so we took
Are
new
you ever
pictures.
going to go back?
I'd love to. I would absolutely love to. Cuba was such an amazing place.
That's awesome. I would love to go. Let me know next time you're planning another trip.
Okay, I'm gonna make you come this time. Like,
yeah, I'll bring my husband. We'll all eat pig together. It'll be really nice.
Hell yeah. I'm absolutely not gonna let you flake this time. Not gonna.
Hold me to it.
I will. I absolutely tried to last time. Like, don't do it. I gave you a lot of shit about that. I did.
I deserved it.
I don't regret it.
That's good. Oh my gosh, I went to Costa Rica in February, and that was amazing.
Tell me about it. I haven't been.
It was so nice. So the first time I went, it was like a few years ago. It was for like a Burning Angel trip. We were making a movie there.
Oh yeah, I remember
really
that.
Cool. That was super cool. This time it was like a wedding anniversary trip. With my husband, we were celebrating our 1 year, and it was like my bucket list to like go into a rainforest. And every day we like ate amazing food, and like it was all really cheap, and everyone was super nice. And we were at the beach, and I cut my foot open. I had to get stitches, so I couldn't go in the water after that.
Oh, that sucks.
But we went into like the rainforest at night, and like I was like limping around. But there are all these cool spiders. I saw so many spiders and scorpions, and I saw like Brazilian wandering spiders, which are like some of the most venomous in the world. And I took pictures of them. And then I saw like red-eyed tree frogs, and saw a snake, and it was super cool. There's a lot of ants, and it was really hot and sticky. But I liked it. It was cool.
Did you happen to eat?
Sloths.
Nice. Did you eat any ants while you were down there?
No, not this time. I ate a lot of like fried plantain and stuff.
Nice. I had giant ants while I was in Colombia. Those were tasty.
That sounds good. Yeah, I've eaten like mealworms and stuff before. I think I've eaten ants on like a separate occasion. I've eaten like scorpion before. The thing I just can't get behind, like, so with my with being an omnivore, there's like, people are like, oh, like I'll eat a cow, but like I won't eat a dog because it's so cute. Like that's how I feel about spiders. Like I could not eat a spider. Like it would break my fucking heart. Like I see nature documentaries where people are like roasting like the tarantula over the fire, and I'm like, I want to fucking cry. Like, don't do that.
They sell like freeze-dried tarantula for human consumption on Amazon, right?
I know, I've seen it. I couldn't eat it.
I was tempted to order it just to try it, but I didn't.
I mean, I guess it's already dead, but it would just break my heart too much. But like, I recognize it's hypocritical in me. Like, I don't eat lambs because it would hurt my feelings. But like, I mean, we've been talking about eating pig. Like, I like pigs. They're fucking cool, but they're also delicious.
They are. And I tried to be friends with that pig before and it didn't want to be friends with me, so it had to go. Because when we woke up that Sunday, like they just had the pig tied up in the courtyard of the Airbnb.
Oh my god!
And it's just like lying there. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna say hi to the pig, and it started freaking out.
Oh, I was probably so scared.
I'm like, I'm just trying to be cool, pig. Like, I'm just trying to pet you. It trying to comfort you. It must have smelled me. It was like, nope, you are gonna fucking eat me.
And you did.
Well, yeah. It didn't want to be friends. You had to go. Like I could have given you a pardon. I could have been like, the pig escaped. I don't know what happened. But you weren't cool, pig. You weren't cool, so you had to go. Oh man. I want to go back to Cuba now. Damn it.
Me
Damn
too.
it.
I've never been, but I want to go.
It's amazing. Well, it's just the beauty of no fucking internet. Just off the grid.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, my phone became a camera for 10 days, and that was it.
That's really good.
Plus the Spanish architecture and just no Americana. There's no Starbucks. There's no McDonald's. There's no Burger King. There's none of it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like everywhere I go, like even like former like communist like places and stuff, it's like there's some like Americanization, and it's like comforting. Like when I'm like in Prague and stuff, and like I see like the Starbucks on the corner, like the McDonald's on the corner or whatever, I'm like, oh, okay, like I know if I go in here, like people will be able to understand me. But it's like, fuck, like I don't go to Prague to like drink Starbucks. I go to like get ass fucked by like hot, like uncircumcised dudes and like make money and stuff and see like weird shaped like communist buildings and like churches of bones and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my thing too. Is like I never want to eat at a fucking American fast food place while I'm out of the country. I don't want to get.
And like at least it's like different. Like KFC in Czech Republic is totally different from like KFC in America, and like their Burger King is different and everything. And it's like some stuff is better, and they have like different items, so it's like at least different experience in that sense. But it's like, fuck, like why eat that when you can eat like so many other places that like you don't get the chance to at home.
I agree. And the thing about it is like I'm not opposed to eating fast food while I'm out of the country. I just want to eat like a fast food company that's based out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely while I was in Colombia, we went to the Juan Valdez Cafe because I thought it was just a one-off thing. It's like, oh no, the Juan Valdez Cafe is essentially like,
oh, it's a chain?
Yeah, it's a fucking chain.
That's cool.
They're in malls. I'm like, still gonna get a coffee at the Juan Valdez Cafe because it's hilarious to me. Well, because it's like Juan Valdez. He's like the face of like what fucking some fucking coffee brand at one point up here.
Mm. That's really cool.
Yeah, but I'd rather just do that. Like hit local chains. I mean, I obviously would much prefer to hit local restaurants and like experience the real culture. But if I'm gonna eat fast food, I would. Or do a chain. I want to do it like a local chain or a regional chain, not McDonald's or Burger King, even if it is different menu items.
Totally. Now I'm getting hungry.
I'm thankfully ate right before we did this. I'm like, I had a client recording at 11 that went till like 12:30. I'm like, I need to put food in me before I sit down with Charlotte. Otherwise, I'm going to get real drunk.
I ate too. I had cereal, but now I want chicken nuggets because I am in America.
Where do you get your chicken nuggets is the question.
everywhere.
Yeah, but
Um,
what's the preferred nugget?
it depends. Like I like a Wendy's nugget, like a Burger King nugget, like a McDonald's nugget. Um, I don't know, they're all like different. Like I don't think I have a favorite. I guess it's like whatever my husband like wants in the middle of the night. Like I know nuggets are like a safe bet because like the burgers from those places are also different. Like really like Wendy's burgers and stuff. McDonald's burger just makes me feel like empty inside. I think
As
In
it
and Out
uh,
burgers are my favorite, but they don't deliver.
no Postmates running out in Vegas?
No. Do they have that in LA?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't know if it's like they're not partnered with any like delivery companies or what, but it really hurts my feelings that I can't get um an In and Out burger like delivered to me and I have to go there.
So yeah, and I know they're not as bad in Vegas, but in LA, especially you know where I live, the
Mhm.
fucking nearest In-N-Outs are always fucking jam fucking packed. So it's just like fuck
Oh,
that.
so fucking busy. That was the worst thing about Hollywood. Like, if I wanted to go to fucking like Popeyes on the corner, it was fucking busy and there'd be like people fighting in there and stuff. And it's like, I just want my fucking chicken. Like, leave me alone.
Oh, and the worst part about that particular Popeyes is they're out of shit all the time.
Oh my God, terrible. But that was like one of the few locations in the area that had like mac and cheese as a side because it's not available at every Popeyes. I remember when the chicken sandwich came out for Popeyes.
Yep.
I was like, I was in LA at the time, and I um, was driving back to Vegas that day. I'm like, okay, before I go, I'll eat before I leave. I'll have like a try this chicken sandwich thing, and then I was like in Inglewood, and I'm like, okay, the Popeyes here is like, there's a line out the door. Like, what's going on? So I tried like the next one, next one, next one. Finally, I'm like, I stopped at like one in Koreatown and like the line wasn't like too bad. But I'm like, why is it so fucking hard like to get Popeyes? And like I know that was like a unique situation with like the popularity of that item, but like all like the metropolitan locations for like Popeyes and stuff and like the tourist spots like fucking Hollywood, like everything is packed. I couldn't get my errands done there. Like walking to like Walgreens or CVS or like trying to walk down the street. First of all, the Walgreens on I think Sunset. I can't remember.
The Sunset and
Like
Vine one, the big one.
the big one, yeah. Like the dudes would be like following me around and like harassing me and stuff. And then the CVS, the line for prescriptions is always fucking long. And then if you're walking anywhere on like Hollywood Boulevard, like tourists stop you, like, hey, do you know where the Walk of Fame is? And it's like, look around you, it's everywhere.
See, I have very different experiences in Hollywood, but that also comes from being a dude that is twice your size.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, it's just, and it's such a weird feeling, like walking outside of your apartment and like, oh, I need to go to Western Union or whatever, and then there's like all these people around who are like, they're so like overwhelmed by the experience of being there. They're like taking pictures of everything. They're standing in the middle of the sidewalk, and you're just a person trying to like go about your daily life and run your errands. I guess that's how like people must feel like living in New York, I guess. I don't know.
I don't think there's many, unless you're in like fucking Times Square. I don't think there's many people stop in New York in the middle of the fucking sidewalk.
Oh yeah, like I guess yeah, in Brooklyn, like that doesn't happen so much, but
Fucking
or like
Hollywood.
the Lower East Side. But
Fucking
yeah,
Hollywood.
Hollywood fucking sucks. And then you tell people, or you're out of town, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Hollywood. Oh, that must be so glamorous and so nice. Like, no, it smells like piss, and I have to step over like 10 people like on the way back to my building.
I know. I
And
like
then
that it's
like my
grimy.
packages, yeah, and then my packages get stolen all the time.
I think that was more your building than anything else.
Oh yeah, that building. I still, I know like we both know a lot of people who still live there, and I hear the the trials and tribulations of that building and the laundry room situation and everything.
See, that's why I like my setup in Hollywood. It's like, I have a nice apartment in Hollywood.
You do have a nice apartment, and your building is really nice, and the roof is really nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I have a nice spot. And it's like,
but it's also twice as expensive as my apartment is.
Yes, which is hilarious because you easily make twice as much money as I do. Charlotte, I think. Charlotte. Fucking Zoom. We have a Charlotte.
Hi, I don't know what happened. It just started like raining and like storming really bad here. I'm sure you know how that is, like when it rains in Vegas, since you used to live here. Like when it happens, like it fucking happens.
Yeah, it's just like this God's like, no, I'm gonna bathe you motherfuckers right now.
Yeah, it's a torrential downpour, and then it's always really brief though, but then there's no trees, so the wind is always like really fucked up. But yeah, my internet is not working at all. I'm on my mobile hotspot.
Holy shit, that is no good.
Yeah, maybe we'll wrap it up soon if my internet is being poo-poo.
For sure. So I was saying before we got frozen, like, you make twice as much as I do, which is hilarious that I was in the nicer apartment.
Well, back then I wasn't. I was it's so strange living in LA as and living alone as a porn person, because I wasn't making that much off OnlyFans or my own content back then, and I was really relying on shoots, and I wasn't like shooting that much in a month. I wasn't making that much money, and then like the cost of living like tends to eat up everything you make. That's how it was for me, like when I was living in the Bay Area too, because it's so expensive there. But even I didn't have a car. I didn't have like car insurance and stuff, but like the cost of Ubers and everything, it's like still like super expensive to get anywhere, because
honestly, if you're taking Ubers to the Valley, it will be more than a car note real fast.
Oh yeah, like I did it. I like spreadsheeted it out one time, and it's like usually it was about the same on what I would be spending on a car payment and insurance per month and parking tickets, because those are inevitable in LA. But yeah, if I was shooting a lot, like suddenly, like I remember one time I had to go to Corona for a shoot, and the Uber was like almost $200.
Yeah, like not even worth doing the fucking shoot at that point.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, like to and from, like, okay, that eats up like a good like third of like what you would get paid for the shoot, and like that's like a car payment like in itself in one day.
Right, like maybe I fucked up here.
Like, yeah, but now like in Vegas, like the cost of living is better, and then I'm splitting like costs between my husband. We just do everything 50-50, but like what I'm paying, it's about equal to what I was paying to like live in LA and like be miserable in like a studio apartment.
No, I totally get it. Like as I said, I lived in Vegas for a while. My problem with Vegas was, as a single dude, Vegas sucks.
Yeah,
it's a rough town to meet new people in.
It's really difficult because going to like a casino or something, you only really see tourists there unless you're like going to the movie theater in the casino where like the locals go. It's like yeah, like you hardly ever meet anybody who's from Vegas. Like I only know a couple people who are like born and raised.
Yeah, I only know
Vegas.
A handful of people that were born and raised there. And of all the like all my time, the only people I met, like maybe met a handful of people I didn't know that weren't in the industry, and anyone I met, industry or not, was all through people I'd already known. Like I didn't like make a new friend anywhere.
Yeah, it's super hard. Like I try to get out there and do stuff. Before it got so hot, I was like cycling a lot, but like the people you meet like cycling, they're going very fast by you on the trail. And then if you're like at a rest stop and like you stop to talk to people, it's all like tourists who are like traveling like oh, I just visited St. George, Utah, and like did a bike trail there, and now I'm doing this one like around Vegas, and it's like, okay, but you don't really meet like too many local people like doing shit. Like we're all kind of like in our own little circles, like being weird.
Oh yeah, 100%. I used to say that all the time. It's like people that live in Vegas are very cliquish because they don't expect you to stick around.
Yeah, that's true. But at least like when you do make manage to make friends in Vegas, it's a lot easier to like call somebody and be like, "Hey, let's get breakfast tomorrow," and like you do stuff versus like um in LA, it's like trying to work with people or like make plans and stuff. It's like all of a sudden like you won't hear from people. And you're like, oh, why won't this person like hang out with me? It's like, oh, because they live in the valley and like they don't want to drive or Uber like 30 minutes to me.
100%. Or it's unfortunately in LA, a lot of times people are agree to do something until they're like something better comes along.
Yeah, there's that. I think it's such a phenomenon with like West Coast people. Something sounds good at the time, so they'll agree to it, or um, they'll just tell you what you want to hear. Whereas I think like most of the people I know from like the East Coast and like other parts of the world or the country who've like moved to the West Coast, they'll like straight up tell you like, oh no, I'm busy tomorrow. I can't like at least like they're honest about their plans. Or like you're like, oh, let's do this scene together, and then like they actually show up. It's like,
oh yeah, hey, as a Chicago dude, that's me. It's like, and you know me. If I don't feel like doing something, I'll tell you. I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
For sure.
It's like, nah, I don't feel like doing that. Like,
I miss Chicago too. I was supposed to go. I don't know if it's canceled yet. To Chicago in July for a Bauhaus concert.
oh, nice.
Yeah, but I've been like thinking about like Chicago food a lot recently. I'm sure you've been here. Pizza Oven Grinder.
Haven't been to that one.
It's like they make like it's like a pot pie upside down, but it's like a pizza. And so it's like a deep dish pizza that's like inside of like a pot pie, essentially. It's fucking amazing and delicious.
Are you talking about in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about in Vegas. I'm like,
oh no. There's like nothing like that here. There's like one deep dish place here that
there's three.
I go to a lot, but it's like
there's
three.
So there's Amore Taste in Chicago on the west side.
Yeah, I've been there before.
They're pretty legit. Like when I was living there, that was the only spot. Then all the way the fuck north in North Vegas, there's an Aurelio's.
I haven't been there. I don't really hang out in North Vegas.
I don't either. Aurelio's is an actual Chicago chain. So, and honestly, what you go there for is fuck getting the deep dish from Aurelio's. Their deep dish is just okay. But they have square cut tavern style, the Chicago style thin crust, which is fucking legit. So a couple times I'd both blow through town, I would drive up to North Vegas just to get that pie and then bail.
That's nice.
Because it's Vegas and it's like I can be anywhere in 30 minutes. Sure, I'll drive 30 minutes.
Yeah, I love that about Vegas.
And then there is a Giordano's on the Strip now.
I haven't been to that one. I don't really like eating on the Strip.
Of course not.
No, it's super busy, but yeah, I like that Amore place. I go there a few times. That's like the one like I go to on like a semi-regular basis. I miss I think I've been thinking about like Portillo's, even though it's like just pretty okay, but it's something about a hot dog.
So there's a place over. Are you in Summerlin?
I'm south of Summerlin.
Okay,
in
like
Spring Valley.
Spring Valley. Okay, so if you end up at like Buffalo and Lake Mead in Summerlin, there's a place called Windy City Beef and Dogs that imports their beef and hot dogs from Chicago.
I've driven past there. I haven't been in. I'll have to go because Lance really likes hot dogs too.
That spot, like my first apartment in Vegas, well, actually my only apartment in Vegas, was literally like right behind that place, and I didn't know it until like I moved in. I'm like, you kidding me? Windy City Beef and Dogs is right here, like a block away from my apartment? Fuck yes.
That's awesome. I wonder if they deliver. I'm actually checking right now because I'm very hungry.
I don't know if they deliver all the way the fuck down to you.
I don't know. I'm like 10 minutes from Summerlin. No, they're not here.
Who knows? Who knows if they're even open during the pandemic too.
I'll find me a hot dog.
But yeah, because there used to be another spot down in Henderson, but that closed down before I left town.
Oh, there's no delivery.
Sorry for getting your hopes up. Sorry.
It's okay.
At least you know it exists now.
Yeah, I do. Now I know where to go.
Yeah, it's pretty legit. Like, actually, all the Vienna beef imported from Chicago.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, see, it's actually better than Portillo's, in my opinion. At least it used to be when I was there. And I have to settle for fucking Portillo's when I'm, in LA. It's like, end up in Orange County, go to Portillo's.
Oh yeah, that's true. I never really find myself in Orange County because I don't have work out there, so it's like, meh.
Yeah, it's a once in a blue moon thing. I'll end up in Orange County for something. I'm like, well, I'm in Orange County, going to Portillo's. Or I went on a date with a girl in Long Beach. I'm like, Portillo's only like 15 miles out of the way. I'll go.
It's good.
That might have been a late night decision because the Portillo's is open till fucking midnight. So.
Oh, that's good.
So what else are you going to do with yourself in quarantine? Like, you're just going to keep on keeping on, or?
Keep on keeping on. I'm going to get a nose job, so that's exciting. And
why are you getting a nose job? Why?
I had an injury as a kid. So I also have a deviated septum. So like I pretty much only breathe out of one nostril. So we're like fixing that. And then my tip got like, the doctor was like showing me, he's like, oh, here you have like damage here. And then my bridge is like fucked up. So it's fixing things.
Oh, okay.
But since I don't have to be on set, like, and like, I don't care like if I'm a little swollen or bruised at home, like I'll just like put makeup on and still make porn. Like people just want to see my butthole anyway. So it's like, that's fine.
I was just making sure you weren't Jennifer Graying yourself.
Oh, no. I'm not trying. I just want to look like myself, just like a little like repaired and like be able to breathe better. But yeah, I don't, I think like people who like drastically change stuff, that's cool. But yeah, I'm just going to look like a little different. I don't think like many people will notice the difference except me.
Cool. And at the end of the day, it's your face. Like, if you were like, I'm going to drastically change things and look like a tiger, I'd be like, okay, if that's really what you want to do.
Yeah, tigers are pretty cool.
The lion face plastic surgery, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to like come out of quarantine with like double D's or anything. I'm like,
just lips out to a fucking...
No. The lips is something I don't think I'm ever going to do. I think it's cool. It's become a bit excessive.
Just a little,
just a tad. Different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
It's just not my thing, but I respect it.
Ladies, if it makes you happy, cool. Just don't do it because you saw it on fucking TV.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I think I've seen some girls on Twitter be like, I see every other girl in porn like has their lips done. Like, should I get mine done? And it's like, yeah, if you want to, but not because everybody else does it. Like,
right. You shouldn't get like massive ass implants just because everyone else is fucking doing it. If you want to make changes to your body, do what's going to make you happy, not because everyone else is fucking doing it. Yeah,
and like when it's a trend because everybody else is doing it, it ends up getting out of style, like just as quickly. So it's at least like when you're true to yourself and like what you actually want, like for yourself, like that's like a timeless look. And you have to be like so careful about your look, especially in this industry, because you can misstep and then end up like with something that's not ideal, like business wise.
Well, on top of it, like
you're like, oh, this isn't like in fashion or favor anymore, and like I don't really like this thing I changed anyway. Like, what do I do now?
Well, and on top of it, people tend to overlook the fact that it's still fucking surgery.
Yeah, it's really scary. No, with my nose, like I thought about it a lot and like the pros and cons and like recovery time. And I think this is a good time to, since I'm stuck at home anyway and I'm just like hanging out, like I'm not missing much and I'm gonna be like able to like recover comfortably at home and like not miss out on like big scenes I could be doing for companies. But yeah, I've seen like I know a lot of people who are like getting their breast implants removed because there's side effects to every surgery, and some stuff doesn't show up until years down the line. I think that's not something people like necessarily think about or expect before they undergo a procedure. Like, oh, this could like make me sick in 5 years.
Yeah,
Because
or
it's a foreign thing in your body.
100%. Or, heaven forbid, botches and fucking like liposuction and other shit like that fucking happen. People do die from it.
Totally, yeah. It can fucking, yeah, it's dangerous and risky every time you go under.
Yeah, it's just, people are just like, oh, it's no big. I'm just gonna go under again. I'm like,
yeah, oh, I'm scared. It's so shocking to your body too. It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, it's 100% a lot of stress. It's like, then especially, just give it some thought before you do anything to yourself. I mean, I'm talking to the audience, not you. And obviously, you.
Yeah.
Like, give it some serious thought. You're like, is your skin and your waist worth dying for?
Yeah, it's I know I've heard some horror stories about like, not even like people getting like their butt done in like garages and like storage containers by like black market doctors and stuff, but you could just as easily like have something happen to you at like a reputable, like world-renowned surgeon.
Fuck yeah! I mean, that's how Kanye West's mother died.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And you don't think Kanye could afford the best surgeons in the world?
Right. It happens. And I'm somebody who's like really sensitive to anesthesia. And the last time I had a surgery, like I had my wisdom teeth out like 10 years ago. But I don't react well to it. So for like me to like make a decision to do surgery, it has to be worth the cons that are associated with the surgery.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you'll be able to breathe better and not get damage fixed.
Me too.
Well, I mean, good shit.
Because if I can breathe better, I think I can suck dick better. It goes hand in hand.
Hey, if that's the overall goal, not better quality of life, right? Well, I guess for you, probably sucking better dick is better quality of life.
It really is. It really is. And it's worth it for me. I should probably go soon, and I gotta eat something, and then I gotta get some editing done.
Cool. Charlotte, it was always a pleasure. Where can they find you on the OnlyFans and all that fun shit?
Well, thanks. It's always a pleasure talking to you, too. And I like catching up with my buddy.
I know. It's been too fucking long.
It's been too long. I'll let you know. I don't know when I'm going to be in LA again, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, lately, none of us know.
It's been like for just a day, and then I shoot, and then I leave. But yeah, so I'm on OnlyFans / Goth Charlotte, and then I'm Goth Charlotte on Twitter and Instagram and everything.
Awesome. Everyone check out Charlotte putting things in her butthole. Check out her doing awesome work with her husband, Mr. Lance Hart, who I tried to drag on the show too, but he's on a media moratorium at the moment, I guess.
Yeah, he's like overworked and busy. Like it's like every day his publicist is like, "Do you want to do this thing? Do you want to do that thing?" And he's like, "I have so many things."
Oh no, I'm just busting his balls.
He was so happy that we finished the scene we did yesterday because he has like no more like paid projects he has to do other than like his own working for himself. So he's like, "Yay, I'm done."
Fuck yeah. That's such a good feeling. But I'm going to let you roll, get some food. We will catch up soon.
Yeah, of course.
Send Lance my love and all that fun shit.
I won't.
And until next week, guys, drink up, motherfuckers. Stay safe in quarantine.
Drink water.
Yeah, drink water. Yeah, water.